Hello and welcome to another Gaming Isle video where we're going to be looking at what is the best diet for your dino. This is just my thoughts and opinions on how I use the diet system for the Isle, but you can customise it to your own playstyle and see how you get on with it. But yeah, we're going to start off with the CARNO. So as a CARNO, if you're facing off against a PACHY, the best one I think to have is the 30% growth, 15% stamina regen, 10% health regen, plus the blunt resistance. So for those of you that don't know what blunt resistance is, it means you can take a few more shots from a PACHY before you end up getting fractured. So it is a really good one to have in your arsenal to be facing off against PACHYs. Another one is also the fracture, so you can have the 30% growth, 15% health regen and 10% stamina regen plus blood and fracture, and that just helps with those PACHYs as well. If they are constantly ramming you on the servers that you play on, it just does help prevent those fractures a little bit more. But again, there's lots of other options you can have. These are just the ones that I use. So if you are going up against an OMNIRAPTOR as a CARNO, the best one I think to use is the one with bleed resistance. The OMNIRAPTOR does cause the most bleed in the game, so it is useful if you are going to be going up against a lot of UTARs on the servers that you play on to have the one with bleed resistance. You're still getting that 30% growth, 15% scent and night vision with this one, and still getting that 10% health regen, so you are still getting a little bit of health regen with that one. As for CARNO versus dino, this can be a bit of a difficult one because obviously the dino has got the upper hand because most of the time it's going to be in the water and you're probably going to be drinking at the water's edge when you do get took from a dino. So for me, the best one to have is the 30% growth, 15% health regen, 10% scent and night vision, but this also gives you a 10% stamina drain, so it gives you that little bit more stamina. So if the dino does take you under the water, you've got that little bit of extra stamina to maybe help you escape if the dino does let go. Or if you want to give yourself the maximum stamina, you can go for the 3 dots on all 3 and give yourself 15% growth, and then that'll give you a 25% stamina regen as well, so it'll regen your stamina that little bit quicker, which can be a good one for facing off against dinos. So for CARNO versus STEGO, because STEGO is such a tank and basically rules the Isle and can pretty much take on anything that it wants, there's not much really you can do with this one. So for this one, I did decide to go for the blunt resist, just so you can take those few extra hits. Or you could go with the 25% stamina boost to see if you can out-stamina the STEGO and beat it that way. So if you're going to be battling a lot of TENOs on your servers, then I would recommend going for the 30% growth, 15% health regen, 10% scent and night vision, plus the 10% stamina drain. This will help you fight the TENO and have that little bit more stamina, and it'll regen a little bit better for you. The TENO's tail slam does take up a lot of its stamina, so you could go for the 3 dots option and see if you could outstam the TENO as well. For the OMNIRAPTOR versus CARNO, I would recommend going with the option with blunt resist. The CARNO does have its charge attack and can take you by surprise, so this might just help you survive that first initial charge. You can then choose to fight or run away. For OMNIRAPTOR versus PACHY, again I've gone for the blunt resist. The PACHY has got its charge attack, which again with the blunt resist may just help you escape if you need to, or again carry on fighting after that initial charge. And with its 10% health regen, you might just be able to survive your attack. Another option you could go with is the option with fracture. As you know, the PACHY does a lot of damage when it does its charge attack and often causes fractures, especially to OMNIRAPTORs. So having this in it may help you survive a couple of charges without getting fractured. Or again, similar to other dinos, you could try and outstam your opponent by using the 3 dots and keeping your stamina at 25%. For the OMNIRAPTOR versus dino, I have gone for the 10% stamina drain, just in case you do need to get away quickly. You might need to get some stamina back quickly. Having that extra little bit of stamina regen quicker might help you just get away. Or again, you could go for the 25% stamina regen to gain that even quicker. For OMNIRAPTOR versus STEGO, I've gone for blunt resist purely to try and avoid that one shot off the STEGO. Most OMNIRAPTORs will get one shotted by a STEGO the first time, but if you have got that blunt resist in, you might survive that initial impact, carry on fighting or escape. You could also go for pure stamina. The Raptor's pounce will enable you to stay latched onto the side of the STEGO a little bit longer and create more bleed, and maybe bleeding the STEGO out over time. So having a pure stamina approach could be beneficial when you're up against the STEGO. So for Omniraptor versus TENO, again I've gone for blunt resist on this one. Similar to other dinos, it does have its tail slap and does knock you down to the floor pretty easy, especially being around the same height as the Tyrannosaurus. So to try and prevent a little bit of damage and stop getting knocked to the floor as much, I've gone for blunt resistance. But then you could always go for the 3 dots and use your stamina and bleed the TENO out. Some players may choose to go for the 3 S's and get the health regen, so you can regenerate your health a lot quicker when you are taking damage, but that's up to you. Let me know down in the comments which one you've gone for. For me, taking on a CARNO as an adult PACHY ain't too much of an issue. The PACHY is quite strong and has got its headbutt charge, which is quite powerful and can take on most things on the isle, especially as an adult. But with the CARNO having that charge attack too, probably is a good option to have the blunt as your main form of defense. Again, it just stops you from getting that charge attack. The first time, if it does surprise you, you might be able to take the impact or escape. Now the PACHY's stamina isn't terrible. Even as an adult, it's pretty good. Not quite as good as a juvie, but it's still pretty good. But I would still say it could benefit from having the 10% stamina drain, just to give you that little bit more. So if you are going up against something like a CARNO or an Omniraptor that has got high stamina, you may be able to go toe to toe with it. For PACHY versus STEGO, I've gone for blood. Reason being that hopefully if you do get injured off the STEGO, you may be able to heal your bleed that little bit quicker. With that, obviously you still get the 10% stamina regen on that, so you're still getting a little bit of stamina with it. So that's my reasoning for going for that against the STEGO. As I mentioned before, the STEGO is a bit of a tank, so it's difficult going up against it with any dinosaur. But this combination might just help you out when facing it with a PACHY. Again, depending on your style of play, you could go for the 25% stamina regen or the 25% health regen when you're going up against a STEGO, because both could be beneficial in certain situations. So if you are a PACHY and you are going to be fighting a lot of Omniraptors on your server, I do recommend going for bleed resistance. As mentioned before, the Omniraptor does cause the biggest bleed in the game, so having this on your side will mean you won't take as much bleed damage on your dino. You could also go for blood, so bleed does heal quicker. Again, if you do get attacked on by an Omniraptor, you can heal that bleed a little bit quicker. For a PACHY going up against a dino, similar to other dinosaurs that face the Deinosuchus, I've gone for either stam or health. Whichever one you think will help best for your style of play, I would go with that one. Personally, I would probably go with stamina over health, just because if you can outstam the Deinosuchus, you've got a better chance of surviving. For PACHY versus TENO, I have gone for blunt resist, because you are getting that extra 10% health regen with that, and you're getting the blunt resist to its tail slam. So it might just help you if it does tail slam you against the floor, you might not go down the first time, which will then let you fight on, or maybe make your escape. Again, you could go with the 25% health regen, but personally, I think blunt is a better tactic for the PACHY. So TENO against CARNO is a fairly even fight. They've both got things on their side that can damage each other. But again, for this one, TENO against CARNO, I would go with blunt resist. You're still getting that 15% stamina regen, 10% health regen, and that blunt resist towards the CARNO's charge. So again, it can come in handy if the CARNO does charge you, and if you do get damaged, at least you've got that 10% health regen to help you recoup your health. Or again, you could go with the 25% stamina or 25% health boost, as both of these are really good options when fighting with the TENO against the CARNO. Plus the TENO's health in this game isn't the best, so having a health boost might come in handy. So you don't often see TENOs and STEGOs fighting, but if you did, I would go for blunt resist. You're getting that 50% stamina regen, 10% health regen, and you're also getting that blunt resist, so if it does swing its tail at you, you might have a better chance of staying on your feet, at least for the first shot. So for TENO against Omniraptor, again, similar to other ones that we've looked at, we are going to go for either bleed resistance or blood. So this will just stop the Omniraptor from bleeding you out a lot quicker, and will also help you recover that bleed a little bit quicker as well. But again, if you wanted to go for the 25% health regen, that wouldn't be a bad choice either when going up against an Omniraptor. Similar to other dinos that go up against the Deinosuchus, I've gone for stamina regen or I've gone for health regen. I think this is the best all round for anyone taking on a dino. The Tenento stam is pretty good anyway, so I would probably go for health over stamina regen, because as I say, I have escaped a few times with the TENO's good stamina against the dinos. And for TENO against PACHY, I have gone for blunt resist again, for the same reasons as what I've said before. If the TENO does use that tail slap, it can knock you to the floor even as a PACHY, so having that bump resist will help you a little bit with that. Plus having that 15% stamina regen and 10% health regen will help you as well if you do need to recover. But as I said before, the TENO's health isn't the best, so it could benefit from the 25% health regen as well. So for the dino, I only use one combination no matter what dinosaur it's against, and that's the 10% stamina drain. You want as much stamina as possible when being the dino because that's how you're going to drown most of your prey, plus you're still getting that 15% health regen and the 10% night vision and scent, which will help you smell out some extra corpses if you can't catch live food. So I would say the stego is the most overpowered dinosaur on the isle. It can kill most dinosaurs without much effort and with just a few swings of its tail. So it's fairly formidable against anything, but it still does suffer a little bit from bleed, and is how most of the times you die as a stego, through bleeding out through a massive pack of omniraptors or a large pack of CARNOs. They will usually try and bleed you out. So for this one I've gone for bleed resistance and blood, because I think these are the two things that will help you stay alive as a stego the most. With this you could also go for the 25% stamina regen, or you could go for the 10% stamina drain to help you keep some of that stamina for swinging that tail. So I've grouped the pteranodon, the hypsy and the dryo all in the same group for this, because they're all going to be using the same diet combination, which is maximum stamina. If you go for the 3 dots you'll get the 25% stamina regen. This is really helpful for the dryo and the pteranodon, especially who rely on their stamina to survive. Hypsy a little less so, but it does use it quite a lot to get away. It would be nice to see in the future something come for the diets, especially for the hypsy, which allows it to use its food a little bit more useful, as it does use its food for its spitting, and at the moment there's nothing there in the diet system which helps with that. So at the moment I'm going to rank it in stamina, because I think the stamina is probably the best it can use out of the diet system as it currently stands. You could also use the 10% stamina drain to make sure you've got the maximum stamina available, especially when using the pteranodon and flying, or using the dryo for running around. But what are your favourite diet combinations for each dino? Let us know in the comments down below. And don't forget, if you did enjoy the video, please drop a like on it. It does help us a lot with the channel. And don't forget to subscribe, because we've got new great videos coming out each and every week. But until next time, it's see you later.
Hey, thanks for tuning into the Gaming Isle. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to check out the other videos related to this one. Click that notification bell and you won't miss a video. Thanks very much. See you next time. Bye bye.